recent study showed that 90% of people given a course of antibiotics don't complete them. You know, as soon as you start feeling, you're told to take one for 2 weeks. No one does that. You know, as soon as I start to feel better, I stop. Well, if my job was to work for penicillin, I wouldn't be saying that 90% of the people are stupid. I'd be saying I'm delivering penicillin the wrong way. You know, because there's something wrong with the design of my product that people aren't completing it. And so we listen very, very carefully to our clients, and we continually adapt and continually improve. And therefore we create new modalities as new things come up, and we're very, very hungry to share these wonderful things. Somebody was, the dogs, brilliant. We give eggs, which isn't bad. In our detox units, we give them an egg. And we say, you've got to keep that egg. And if you're not holding it, you've got to find someone to hold it for you. And it invites collaboration and things like this. And you know, they bring them back painted, you know, and with names and things like this. You don't get quite the oxytocin high that you would from a dog. So I'm looking at dogs now. You know, I think, you know, we're hungry. We use everything that's evidence-based that's working wherever we can, because I think it's our responsibility to continually be trying to improve. Maybe that's what happens if you're new recovery in an old country. But you know, dialectical behaviour therapy is something we've recently incorporated into our programs. We have first stage treatment and second stage treatment. I looked outside of counselling, your classic counselling, for inspiration for the second stage model, and I found it in personal leadership, which is an enormously well-researched field, which is about managing personal change and trying to design and live extraordinary lives for yourself. And our second stage program, for example, is a goals-led personal leadership program that is incredibly valuable and incredibly effective. We use, in our Worthing Centre, sorry, he's whispering. Sorry? Yes, I'm getting to that. Yeah, don't worry, I'll mention that. He's giving away the punchline. But you know, we use psychodrama, the trauma model from Pia Melody and things like this down in Worthing. And so we offer choice and variety and creativity in what we do, and we're continually striving for more, because they deserve it. The second point I'd made was housing. We do provide housing for anybody who completes a 3-month episode with us for up to a year. We come from a very different environment. Culturally, it's fascinatingly different, and I could talk about that for half an hour. The way we're funded, primarily by the state, makes things very, very different, and we're expected to do a lot with very little money. Very little money. Now, the previous speaker, who I was incredibly impressed with, was talking about what makes successful treatment, and of course we don't know yet. But the concept of recovery capital gives us some very good insights. When they study why did I get well and 13 people in my rehab, which was actually the case in my case, didn't. And what is it that I had that others didn't have? And some of the answers that these studies have brought up have shown that simple things like housing. If I have somewhere safe to live, I have drastically improved my likelihood of remaining clean and sober. Employability, having a job, being in college, having good health. At its very basic, they say it's friends, house and a job. We shouldn't be able to provide them with houses and jobs, but of course we can provide them with friends immediately, get to a meeting, you know, and this is very important in our centres. But we look at, interestingly, the study of recovery capital tells us that a lot of the important factors aren't simply intrinsic, you know, my motivation, you know, my self-awareness, my ability to be honest. They're extrinsic as well, such as having somewhere to live and education and things like that. And so in our treatment centres we put just as much emphasis on helping people find work, getting into college. We bring college to us. I think that the recovery world can be a little bit subculture. You know, addiction is subculture, but why should recovery be? I like mainstream coming into our centres. We have colleges coming in and delivering national qualifications within our centres. Because we want, you know, recovery's out there. You know, I'm in recovery, I'm part of the mainstream, I have a life. It's important for us that our clients get an awful lot of help there as well. So housing, education, employability, health, these sorts of things are just as important. The third point I came to was we have very nice accents. I had to listen to it. Because it is. I mean, I could be talking, probably am talking rubbish, but it sounds nice. So we all have very nice accents, but that's sort of a metaphor. It's sort of a metaphor for what we take very seriously at TTP, which is the therapeutic relationship. You know, they're not useless, and they're special, and we're honoured they came to us, and they're incredibly brave. They might not feel very brave the day they walk through the door, but it took a lot of guts to get in. They are special. 31 out of every 34 people in active recovery don't get to us. You know, these are exceptionally interesting and gifted people, and we're very grateful they come. So the therapeutic relationship and the culture of our centres, we put in, I genuinely believe that no money, no energy that's put into the strength of your community is ever wasted. You know, we think about this all day long. How can this place be inclusive, respectful, warm? It should be a spiritual dialysis that they want to return to and come back to, a place where there's positive power, where they can trust again and be respected. We train all our staff, for example, in motivation and interviewing, but we use this principally for these endless forms that I don't know if you have to fill in as many forms as we do in the UK, but it's all form filling. Well, I believe if you're trained the right way and have the right approach to your clients, that the filling in of a form can be a deeply therapeutic experience, where together we're getting excited about this care plan we're designing together with goals that you have in mind. Somebody said, you know, when they come in, what's your life plan? That's really important. What do you want from life? Don't give it up. Don't give it up. Even ask the question, what were you looking for when you were using? I wanted to be cherished. When I drank alcohol, I didn't care anymore. So I didn't want to give that up. I wanted to create a life where I have meaning and importance. And we spend an awful lot of energy thinking about that and creating that, and lots of community feedback, lots of peer involvement, lots of buddy systems, lots of consultation and advocacy. It's very, very, very important in our treatment centres. And we've really taken that to some impressive levels. Because at the end of the day, they're beautiful and broken. And we're looking for something beautiful within them so that they can see that in themselves. Because if we explore and find that beauty within them, serenity follows. And that's why I get to the poem there. Because there is a beauty to serenity. Because John Keats, an English poet, said, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing.
I think his English is very good, don't you?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, can I say one more thing, John? Because this is really important about caring. Because we do deeply care. And I don't think there's anything wrong with running an organisation with a genuine ethical investment in making it profitable. To be able to bring the right staff in, to be able to keep staff, and to be able to put those profits back into our client group. We already do pro bono work in the UK for people who can't afford treatment. But what we are, this is the first public announcement, which is why he needed to remind me, and I'm very sorry to say this. Early next year we're going to launch a bursary of £1 million of free treatment in the UK.
Awesome.
Because a lot of people want it, not everybody can get it. So we're giving back.
On piggybacking that, Deidre Boyd, stand up. She's the CEO of for the foundation, the charity that puts on UPSAD, and she challenged Mike Walsh. I believe since you folks did $1 million, we're going to try to do $1 million here too.
£1 million.
£1 million.
And match fund it in the States, and we're going to try and do simultaneous announcement, both sides of the Atlantic, sometime early next year.
And Keith said he'd do 99% of it. Anyway, questions for our guests from across the pond?
I'd just like to say something about Jeff, because I've heard some comments about Happy so much. Jeff has always been training and always reading a book, and he'll either be training using the right side of his brain and reading a book using the left side of his brain, and then he'll switch. He'll use a book using the right side of his brain, and he'll take on another training course using the left side of his brain. Unbelievable.
Did any of you guys want to say anything?
He's very young Forrest Gump.
Any questions? Great job.
Please, as I said, I'm here Thursday and Friday, me and Michael. Please extend an invite. We'd love to come visit you while we're here, if you're sort of Florida based. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.